Hi pretties, and welcome to Deanna Creates. So in today's video we are going to be making a shadow box, and we are going to be using this spooky paper from Decoupage Central. This is called This Old House, and I can't wait to get started with this, so let's just get going. So what we're going to need for this is just some things that you have around the house. Of course, you'll need some kind of decoupage paper, and like I said, I got this on Decoupage Central. I really liked the Halloween selection that they had. I've never used their papers before, but they had some really cool ones for Halloween. So you're going to need some kind of box. Now this is just a repurposed box that I had, and I've come in and I gessoed with black gesso on the edges of it, and I just painted the inside of it just so that my paper, you know, it won't be dark against, because it was black before. So just look around and see what kind of, you know, boxes that you have that you can use. I thought this would make a great shadow box, so that's why I picked this. But you know, if you have any like wood shelf sitters maybe that you've got at Dollar Tree, you can turn those around and they make cute little shadow boxes. So just look around and see what you have. And then I am just doing, like I said, just kind of bits and pieces of things that I already had and trying to repurpose them. I know a lot of times we get really caught up in, you know, we see creators and they're using all these cool things and we're like, oh, I gotta go buy that, I gotta go get that. And if we just, you know, kind of think outside the box and look around, we probably have everything that we need right here. So that brings me kind of to our first thing that I wanted to talk to you about with that, and that is these little pumpkins. So I wanted to use little pumpkins, and you know, I've seen so many creators, you know, you can get them at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and just little packs of all kinds of cute little miniature things. And I didn't have that, so I made these out of clay. So we're going to do that real quick before we get into decoupaging, just so you can see how that works. I already, just for sake of time, I already painted the ones that I'm going to use, but I want to show you how to do that. So all you're going to do is you're just going to get a little bit of clay, really however, you know, big that you want your pumpkin to be. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to roll it. You're going to roll it into a ball until you get your pumpkin shape. Now, I didn't want a perfect ball because pumpkins aren't perfect. And it's real easy. And so you just keep rolling it till you kind of get it the way that you want it. Push your clay around. And then what we're going to do is, I just have some of my clay tools here, but you can use, you know, you can use a knife, you can use a pen. I mean, you can use anything that you have, and we're just going to make the little lines like are on a pumpkin. I know it's probably hard for you guys to see. And my lines aren't straight because, you know, I mean, pumpkins aren't perfect. The imperfection of pumpkins a lot of times is what makes them really cool. And then you're just going to take, I'm going to kind of put it like that to smash my bottom because I want it to sit flat. This piece of clay is not really the best. And then you're just going to put a little hole, just a little bit, down in there. And so there you have your pumpkin. And then I have these little stems. These are actually from yarrow. They're little yarrow stems, and I keep them in this cute little bundle because I just do stuff like that. And then we're just going to take our scissors, and what I like about these is they have this it kind of looks like a pumpkin stem because there's kind of a shape there, and I know it's probably really hard for you to see that, but then you're just going to trim it off. But you can get, you know, any kind of sticks or twigs that you have in your yard. Just, again, I want you to just look for what you have. And then you're just going to stick that like right down in there. And look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. And so then we're just going to paint it with our orange paint. And I have one that's actually called Jack-o'-lantern. That's the perfect orange. And so again, I'm just wanting to show you how like quick and easy this is. And so you're just going to paint it. All the way around. And I'm going to show you, we're going to go kind of around our other ones with some distress ink now that they're dried, just to kind of grunge them up a little bit. And the little stem too helps you to kind of hold it. And so there you have a really, whoop, don't do that. There you have a really, really cute little pumpkin. And it's probably just as cute, if not cuter, than the ones that they have in the little miniature things. So again, just kind of think outside the box, y'all, of what you have around your house to use. And I think we need a longer stem on him. There, see? So that is how I kind of improvised and used what I had. All right, so now we are going to get ready for our shadow box, and we're going to cut off the white part of our paper because I don't want that on there showing. And I am not going to do much to this paper really at all as far as, you know, enhancing it. I like the really like faded, washed out look that it has. And so I'm going to distress around the edges of it, and that's it. I'm not going to go in, and I thought about going in and painting in the windows, but I'm not, because I really, really like that. Just that old faded look of the paper. But we are going to do some fun things with it. And so, what are you guys creating? And I'd love for you guys to let me know if you've ever used the papers from Decoupage Central before. I think it's fun to try out different companies and their papers because they're all just so unique. All right, so now we're going to just take I got lots of little things in here. We're going to take our decoupage medium, and we're just going to put this down in here. And so I'm going to put it all the way to the top like that, because the rest of it will be covered with all the things that I'll be doing. And so let's see. So I know I've been seeing so many people making lots of fall crafts that are so cute. I still haven't decorated really for fall yet. Like I caught my last video, I mentioned that. Still really hot here, so it's hard to get into it. I have this moss that I got out to put in here, and of course I was testing it, kind of seeing how it was going to work in my project, and there's little pieces of moss all in here. Alright, so I'm just going to put this oh, y'all, that's going to be so cute. I know it's hard for you to see. Hopefully with the overhead view, you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Sorry, I know the box is blocking the front view. But I'm just doing what we always do. I'm going at it a little bit at a time. I'm putting the decoupage medium down. You guys started having fall festivals and pumpkin festivals in your town? Our pumpkin patch opens, or one of them opens on Saturday. No, Sunday. It's opening on the 1st of October this year. And I think there's another one that is opening. I think it does open on Saturday. The one I went to last year, it's at a local church here, and it was so fun. They had some of the most beautiful pumpkins. We're almost to the end. I'm getting the paper in here. And then the fun begins. I'm so excited about this. And you know, guys, it's really kind of funny. One of the things that got me so excited was having this perfect box that I could use. The box was kind of my inspiration for the project. You know, we have all these decoupage papers, and I wanted to do something besides just putting it in a frame or, you know, on a tray or, you know, something. I wanted to do something really fun with it. And I got to looking, and I had this box, and that was my inspiration for the shadow box. So isn't that funny how you can just look at things that you have and they'll inspire you? Okay, I'm just kind of going over it with my little baggie here to make sure everything is kind of sealed and in place. All right, so here, look how cute that looks already. Oh my goodness, I love it. All right. So we don't need this right now. And so now the fun part comes. So the next thing, I'm going to set this aside just for a second because I wanted to show you some of the other elements that I have. So these are little foam pieces, and these came in like a kit, like is in the kids section. And I have used this for years for lots of different things. I originally bought it for a Halloween dessert that I was making, and I put this whole, all the pieces that go to this, I just put that onto the cake, and it was so cute. But I've used it for, I do a lantern, and I've used it in the lantern before. I've made other just Halloween scenes that I've set up, and so I'm gonna use this again. But what we're going to do this time is we're going to kind of grunge up and distress the tree a little bit. And so this is just foam. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take, again, I'm using my clay tool, but you could use a knife or whatever. And I'm just going to start to kind of make some lines in the tree, just to kind of give it that tree look, you know, because then we're going to kind of go over it with some different mediums to just make it stand out just a little bit. You know, it's spooky and it's dark, and so, you know, we don't need a whole lot of things to stand out, because that's, you know, not the mood we're going for with this. We're going to kind of go on the branches. And again, there's no rhyme or reason. You're just kind of making it tree-like. I thought it was a really good, spooky looking tree. All right, so again, I know you can't really see it, but I've made some lines on it. We're keeping this little ghost on here. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take some satin top coat, and I'm gonna go over this tree, because what I'm gonna do, I want it to stick, and I didn't want a really heavy like decoupage medium. And so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go over my tree. Just kind of here and there, because like I said, I'm not putting everything on the whole thing. Like real quick. And then I have this is by Redesign with Prima. I've had it for a really long time. It's just called Artist Powder, and it's just powder. It's kind of like what you would do with cinnamon. And so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to kind of sprinkle it. It has a shaker top, like a salt shaker or cinnamon, and I'm just going to sprinkle that all onto my tree, just kind of randomly. And then I'm just going to take my same paintbrush and I'm just going to start to hit it, and you can see it turns it like brown. And again, I don't want it completely covered up. I like the black to show through some, but I want people to realize, you know, it's a tree. And so then I kind of get that down too in those grooves where I made those marks. And you can put more however you want it. And then it just gives it kind of an old and distressed look to it. So it looks like that. So just something a little more kind of spooky. And you know, like everything else, you could spend hours on just, you know, making your tree perfect. So that is what we're going to do with the tree. We're going to kind of do the same thing with the fence. But with the fence, I think I'm going to put a little bit of, actually put a little bit of black on there. Because I want it, I'm going to make it a little darker, but I also want it to kind of grunge it up. So I'm probably going to use my Distress inks to do that. And again, there's no rhyme or reason to the method. Just put it on there. This is one of those really fun crafts where you don't have to worry about being precise. And I love that. I like embracing the imperfection. And so what that does is just kind of highlighting and giving it some different tones to this fence. And you could leave it kind of thick too if you wanted to kind of make it look like there's, you know, old dirt or something on the fence if you like. All right, and so that's, you know, it's not a huge change, but you can kind of see it does look a little different. So then we're going to just take our Distress ink and we're going to use the black soot and we're just going to go around it. And we're not worried about being perfect with it because, again, we just want to get that grungy look to it, like an old broken down kind of fence. That's at a spooky house where there's a witch. Hasn't been painted or made perfect. All right, so now we have our little fence all ready. And now we're just going to start putting things all together. And so this should come together pretty quickly now. So the first thing that we want to do is, let's look at our tree here. And we're going to see about placement of the tree. So it's going to be, you know, kind of in here somewhere. I kind of want him on the edge, but kind of on the inside. So I think we're going to put all of our moss in first, so that we kind of have a base for everything that we need. And so, how's that? Doesn't that look cool? Alright, so let's do that. Let's put the moss in there, and I'm just going to use the glue gun and a popsicle stick so I don't burn myself. I know this is hard to see, y'all. Going to put this down again, use that popsicle stick to kind of help that. We want to get it back against the wall here so that our white doesn't show, and we're going to put a lot of other stuff back here too, but you can see how it's starting to look like a spooky house. All right. And then I've got some of this, like, this creepy cloth stuff, and I'm going to put it kind of on top of that a little bit. Again, we're just kind of making it look kind of spooky and old, and you don't know what you're going to have to step through to get up to the front door. So let me glue that in there. Alright, so let's get this down there. What do I do with my popsicle stick? So again, we're just kind of playing around with it. So it's looking kind of spooky there. Kind of not knowing what's lurking there in that spot. And then I have, where's my little witch? I have a little witch. Oh, she's right here. Where'd she go? Well, I had a little witch, y'all, somewhere. I probably dropped her down on the floor, which I can't see. All right, well, we'll just work on our fence. And so I want to put the fence in here. I want to put it, you know, kind of crooked like that. And so then we're going to put the tree kind of in here, like this. What do y'all think? So let's glue those in there. So we're just going to kind of sit the tree like so. Maybe turn him a little bit more. I think I like it turned a little more. We're going to have our fence. Let's see which fence we want. And so you see, guys, how I'm just using, like I said, I'm just using things that I already had and just putting them together to create just this little shadow box. And I really am liking how it's turning out. And the thing is, because it's a Halloween fence and it's in an old witch's house, we don't have to worry about the perfection of it all. Okay, I'm going to lay it down so I can kind of see it better. Ow! I like it. So there is how it looks so far. What do you guys think? You like it? So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our little pumpkins and we are going to distress those a little bit. And I'm just going to do that with our distress ink. I just want a little bit, and I'm actually just going to use my fingers to kind of go over it. I just want to give it just not that painted look. You know, they've been sitting out. They've been sitting out in this old house, and there's a dirt road beside it, and so they're getting kind of, you know, they're not perfect. They're grungy. They're starting to get cobwebs on them. All the things that you would expect to see in a haunted house. So again, you know, you could do so many different directions with this. You could add, you know, you could add More ghosts. You could add, you know, lots more bats. We have some more bats we're going to add. You can make a whole scene. If you have a bigger box, add more trees. I mean, just let, you know, just play and have fun, and just make it yours. And no, there's no rules. There's no rules. I'm just going over this one. It's a darker one. All right, so we are going to put these in front of the fence. So I think I'm going to try to do like 2 on each side, like so. Oh my gosh, isn't that cute, y'all? Oh, I love it so much. All right, so let me glue these. I just think these little pumpkins, I'm so excited about how they turned out. I just think they are so cute. And they look pretty realistic. All right. You see how it's all coming together? Coming together. So now what we have is we have this little witch's broom. You can't really see it, but it's from I used my Sizzix, and it's just a die cut. And I am gonna put this little witch's broom on this fence. And I am gonna use regular glue for that. And then I have some bats and some spiders, and then we will be done. I have a witch, but you guys, this stuff is really tiny, so I must have dropped her somewhere on my floor. So I'll have to add her. I'm just getting this glue because this is really fine. And so we're just gonna put this right on the fence. So anybody that comes up to this house, they're gonna see this witch's broom, and they're gonna know that a witch lives here, for whatever that means to them. If you're not scared, then that's good, but you'll know by the broom on the fence. Okay, and so then the next thing that I'm gonna do is I also cut out some really teeny tiny bats with that die cut machine. Like I said, I use my Sizzix, and so I'm gonna put those up here, like in the sky. So I don't know if you guys have a Sizzix machine, but it is one of my favorite crafting tools. And how it works is you buy these, they're called dies, and you just run them through onto like scrapbook paper. And y'all, I mean, I have the fancy machines. I have a Cricut, and I also have an old school Silhouette, which I did use quite often, but I really love my Sizzix. It's real easy, it's fun, it's quick, and I've had it for a long time too. So as you start thinking about the holidays and what's on your wish list, you might look into the Sizzix maybe. Okay, so I just added some more bats up here just to give it a little more something something. And then the last thing that we're going to do is I have some of this creepy cloth, and so I think I'm going to go over kind of the side of my box with this. And there's also some spiders in here, and they're like, they have these little rings, but I'm going to cut these off, and we're just going to add those spiders, and then we will be done, except for me to come back and add my witch. And you guys, this stuff doesn't do well when you also have glue stick on your hands. And so we're just going to come along here, I think, with this and just kind of put this along here too. Just to kind of give it that creepy kind of look. Be careful. You don't want to burn your... And you know, this stuff is crazy, so kind of wherever it goes is wherever it goes. And we can trim it off more later. But you guys get the idea of this. I just want you to play around and just see what you come up with. And so see, it starts it starts to give it that more of that haunted-y house spooky look to it. And so I want to put some over here on the tree and, you know, just keep going. But you guys get the idea. So find you a box, find you some cool decoupage paper that you want, or get a printable, you know, whatever you can find, and make you a little shadow box for Halloween. This little spider we'll put on here. See if my glue is still there. And then I may even come back and put lights in it. I don't know if I can get some lights hung in there, but this is our little spooky house. And again, I will find my witch. She is going to go back here under this fence, and I will add her, and I will get pictures of this. I will post those on the community tab on YouTube and on Facebook for you guys to see. And I would love for you guys to comment and let me know if you're going to be making a shadow box, and be sure to leave me a picture down there too if you do that. So as always, love and light to you all, and we'll see you again real soon.